Greetings and welcome to, well, I don't even really know actually. What episode is this? Episode 14 of Morrowind Modding Manors? Well, that doesn't seem right. It seems like we've done a lot more of these, but I guess we haven't. But anyway, today we're going to be taking a look at another 3 housing mods from around the lands of Morrowind. And this time we're, specifically going to be taking a look at some mid-sized Telvanni homes. Nothing too grand, but some nice, sort of middle-of-the-road homes ideal for Telvanni mages and wizards. And as always, download links all down below, so let's go ahead and get started here. And our first house mod today is Aryon's Retreat by Nabron. And this mod adds a new Telvanni-style manor right next to the Telvanni Council Chambers in Morrowind, which is also the same location that the Morrowind house mod, Morrowind compatible house mod that we looked at a few weeks ago is located. So this will obviously conflict with that. But on the bright side, that does mean this is compatible with Morrowind, and that's always a nice positive here. And just skipping the map here, because, obviously this home is in Morrowind, we're just going to head right on inside. And the first thing you'll find here is the dining room, including a fairly, typical table here, some crates and a wine rack, of course. And one of the things that worth pointing out here is that this home has a really nice and atmospheric bit of blue lighting going on, which just helps improve the, a magical character of this abode, if you ask me. And heading downstairs, you'll find a display hall and storage area, not terribly large, but, including some more containers like crates, a couple of tables and shelves for, displaying items. And really, this is a rather small home. It just has about 3 floors in, the fairly standard Telvanni house pod fashion. And upstairs on the top floor, you'll find some more, display areas, including a rather large number of bookshelves, a little study-like area to the side where you can just, research your magical studies, and a lot of containers, like a druid chest to, store your loot into. And of course, there's also a master bedroom here, with a bed for you to use. But otherwise, that's pretty much it for this home. And like I said, it's pretty small, but also, nicely atmospheric, with a short commute to the Telvanni Council Chambers, a lot of storage and display space, that's all, ready for you to decorate yourself. And it's really just a cozy home that's ideal for both newer characters and experienced mages, and it's definitely worth checking out. And moving on, we're next going to be taking a look at Telvanni Manor by Ravensong. And now this mod adds a new and fairly small Telvanni Manor to the city street Telvanni. And once again, this is in a Morrowind compatible location, so you can use this with Rebirth if you want to. And otherwise, it has a short commute to the town's various shops here. And just going inside though, you'll once again be greeted by the main dining room as soon as you enter, with a small table set for 2 right here in the entry hall, and a small hallway that leads off to a side storage room, including 1 bookcase and several chests to, store your items into if you so desire. And heading upstairs, you'll find a magic lab, including a bookcase full of books, and a table of alchemical equipment. And, just a fair warning, this is, fairly high-end equipment that this mod just gives you for free, so that might be a bit overpowering. And there's also not a lot of free, display space in here. Almost everything has been, pre-decorated already. And that said, there is a rather scenic master bedroom, as you can see here, including quite a bit of plant life and flowers, which just makes this look like an incredibly cozy set of bed chambers. But overall, this is a fairly basic house. It doesn't really offer a lot of features other than, a short commute, some storage and an alchemy lab, and it doesn't really provide a lot of display space. So obviously it won't be for everyone, and this was one of Ravensong's first house mods, I believe, so the quality might not be all that you might expect from, Ravensong's later creations. But still, it's worth checking out if you're on the market for a home in Telvanni. And finally, we have our last mod for the day, CS Telvanni Manor by CS Studios, and I'm pretty sure that stands for, Clone Studios. And once again, with this mod, we're hopping back to Morrowind, as this mod adds a small Telvanni, house pod along the road going up to the central Telvanni Tower in the city here. And like every other mod that we looked at today, it's a fairly small residence, at least on the outside, with a short commute to the local markets here. And heading inside, the first thing you'll find here, oddly enough, is a servant that can provide you with a number of services, including buying and selling goods, enchanting, item repair, spell making, and so on and so forth, which is, quite handy, I suppose. And moving on though, downstairs you'll find a sort of mixed magic lab and library, with a couple of bookcases just full of books here, a couple of tables free of clutter that you can use for displaying items, an alchemy lab with again some overpowered alchemical equipment, an ash pit for some reason, and just going through here, you'll find the master bedroom, including another table that can be used for private dining or displaying items, and a couple more, bookcases here, mostly already full of books. And it should be noted that this is actually the largest house mod that we'll be taking a look at here today, just in terms of, number of rooms and all that. And there's also a set of 7th chambers in here, which are fairly small, but, include everything that you might expect, such as a bed, a dining area, a bookcase, and even a forge and anvil for some reason, presumably to repair any broken gear you come home with, I suppose. And you also find a downstairs display hall, including quite a fair number of bookcases and tables that you can just use to, show off your various bits of loot, or what have you. And as you can see here, there's also a rather lovely, little ingredient garden that you can harvest for your various potions and brews and all that. And all in all, this is a fairly sizable Telvanni house mod with a decent number of features, including plenty of storage and display areas, an alchemy lab, an NPC servant that can provide just a ton of services, a short commute to the market, and an ingredient garden. Just about everything a young mage could hope for in their first house, really. And the interior lighting is a bit off-putting, but otherwise it's a nice time to check out if you're playing a Telvanni character. And anyway, that wraps up today's episode of Morrowind Modding Manors, and we'll be back in about a month or so for our next episode. So until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.